how you are going to capture the user input. So for examples, we are hard coded some value, how you are going to declare a variable, how you are going to play around with the data types and things like that. Now it's time to look at how you are going to capture the user input. To capture the user input, we have a method called input method. You can give the prompt, right? In today's example, we are going to do a simple example, addition of two numbers, but we are going to cover various aspects of doing the addition of two numbers in different ways, more clean and various approach, in order to understand how you are going to format your output, how you are going to structure your input data and things like that. Okay, so with that intent, we are going to switch back to our IDE. Okay, so I'm going to open the Python as usual. So as I mentioned, if you want to, now the intention is to adding two numbers. If you want to add two numbers, we need two numbers, and those two numbers should accept from the user input. Okay, so for that I declared a variable called number, and I'm using input is a method in Python. If you want to capture the user input, you can give enter number 1, simple, right? And I'm going to have number 2. I'm going to use input enter number 2. Okay, now you simply add the values, result equal to number 1 plus number 2. Now I'm going to print the result. Okay, all right, it's a pretty straightforward example. If you try to run, there you go. Okay, see, which is asking to enter the user to give some input. I enter 10. Okay, I enter 20, right? So if you get, the answer is there, but it is not the expected answer, right? Okay, so 10, 20, you know it is numbers, but the Python interpreter don't know the entered values are numbers. So we have to explicitly tell to the system, these values are numbers. So if you want to explicitly do that, and if you look at, right, this 10 and 20, which is very much close to the enter number 1. So some people might think that it is 110 and this is 220. It is not visually appealing, right? So I would like to go to the next line to accept the user input. So for that, what we will do is, we'll first go to \n to go to the next line. Okay, \n here, and if you want to convert, by default whatever the user is input from the keyboard, right, so that value is treated as string. So if you want to convert the string into integer, so I'm going to use the concept of typecasting, int, and I'm going to specify here int, there you go, and try to execute the same example. See, the format was slightly changed. Now your cursor is pointed in the next line. Okay, enter number 2, 30 now. So it has become 40. But what is 40? It is a subtraction or addition of two numbers, or what is it? So I would like to give more information, more structure, or format this particular input or the output generated format. Okay, so if you want to format the output, you have to do like this. Okay, sum of two numbers. Okay, now here if you type it result, we'll see whether we are going to get the output or not. But if you look at here, right, so this is not the way of getting the things done. You cannot concatenate this number with this thing. So then how do I do that? Suppose example, if you have some value, you have to display that value inside this. Suppose example, the result is a value which is holding the addition of two numbers, right? If I type result here, and if you try to execute the same example, now if you look at 10, 20, and see, sum of two numbers, just it is printed result. It is not displaying the value of the result. So if you want to do that in Python, you have to use this interpolation symbols inside the curly brace. Okay, even if you use the interpolation curly brace, it is not sufficient. You have to use one more thing called f. F is nothing but format your string or the content, whatever the content that you are trying to manipulate, it is going to format. Okay, and when you use this f symbol, automatically your curly brace and the result is highlighted with a different thing. So if something is in green color, right, so that is a string, and if it is highlighted with white and within curly braces, right, whatever the value which is holding, that value is going to be printed here. Now if you try to do the same example, see, now enter 10, now enter 20, see, sum of two number 30. Now the ask is for you guys. Okay, so try to do an example. Print output like this. Okay, sum of 10 and 20 is 30. So try to execute. I mean, user has to enter 10 and 20. If the user entered values, you have to print the output like this. Okay, so sum of number 1, whatever the value is there here, suppose example 10, and number 2 is the result. In this way you would like to print. Do let me know if you face any challenges. This is exercise for you. Thank you for watching. Please do subscribe.